This is Alpha.
This is Mike Brown, and this is the Art of Letting Go.
Letting go. Letting go. Yeah, boy. We coming.
Yeah. Even though you didn't respond to the John Legend challenge.
You know why I didn't respond to the John Legend challenge? Because I don't know the song.
That's cool. I'll take that.
I didn't know the song. So if y'all got another song, I was like, I'm going to do a different John Legend song. But if you challenge me again with a song I know, I'll do that song. But I was like, I'm not about to learn this song just so I can do this challenge.
Y'all don't want to see me with the ordinary people.
Hey, we can do that one next. I'm with that. We can do that next. Most definitely. But yeah, man, we in here. We coming off of we coming from Valentine's Day. We coming from Black Panther movie. We coming off of the Breaking Into.
Yeah.
We've had a lot going on the last couple of weeks, and it's good to be back here doing this. The Art of Letting Go. So this is cool. What we got today, Mr. Brown?
Today I wanted to let go of the fear of relationships, like just post getting out of a relationship. And I really wanted to talk to you because now you're married,
Right.
but you've been through multiple relationships, and it's like, how do you let go of that fear of it, like, not working out?
That's a good question. I think, I know for me, it was just about finding the right person. But I think more than anything else is doing what I'm supposed to do in a relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I can't control what somebody else does. I can't, if they decide to go do something that, that's detrimental to our relationship or not, that's on them. But I'm going to do what I have to do as far as my relationships being successful and my relationship. Not plural. No S's. No S's.
That's funny.
My relationship working. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that this is how I see relationship. Well, marriage, right?
Yeah.
I see it as, let me put myself in her shoes and work from that perspective.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I think it works vice versa if both people decide to do that. That doesn't always happen. And I don't always do it either. I ain't gonna sit there and be like, yeah, I'm perfect. But I definitely try to keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? When I'm doing stuff, when I'm making a decision, when I'm about to go out and do whatever, I always have her in mind as far as my next move. And 8 times out of 10.
Right.
I'll say, like, I try as often as I can. I'm not always successful in doing that, but that's pretty much how I balance relationships now. Like, I think when I was younger, it was about like what you could do for me.
Right.
And now I'm at a place where it's like, all right, what can I do for you while I'm still doing me?
How do you still take care of yourself in a relationship?
This is an interview. Alpha today.
I mean,
no, this is cool. This is cool.
No,
This is cool. I got the crown on. You know, I'm ready. I got the crown on. I'm ready. Medieval times. What's happening? So, as far as you just got to make time for yourself, like self-care. I'm so big on self-care, man. Like, I'm big on self-care at work. Like, so doing it within my marriage is definitely important because I'm like, if I'm gonna tell my boss, no, like, hey, can you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it all boils down to communication. Like, I have to let her know in advance. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm gonna be doing this, or I'm gonna be doing that, or what you got going. You know what I'm saying? To kind of make the time, because you never wanna. You gotta understand the person's love language. You know, everybody's gonna be talking about love language and all that stuff.
Right.
So if quality time is their love language, then you have to present your love language as well. And if that's alone time, I don't know all the love languages. But if that's, time for yourself so that you can work on your music or work on your art or work on just being by yourself.
Right.
You just got to have that conversation first. I think everything boils down to communication. If we can talk and we can figure stuff out, then it's cool. But I'm also speaking from a perspective of somebody who's married to a very secure individual.
Right.
So that has a lot to go into.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, really finding the right person that's secure, that's not like needy and doesn't need to be all up under you all the time, and because that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
But from my perspective and who I'm with, now and for the rest of my life. I'm getting these brownie points tonight. I don't know what y'all think this is. She go listen to this. I'm gonna make sure she listens to this. But she's very secure in who she is and what she has to offer. Yeah. And that was very attractive to me initially. So now that we're married for 6 years, she still holds that. You know what I'm saying? And I can do me and she can do her, and then we can come together and be one. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope.
Right. Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to understand, because, you know, to go from being in a relationship and being very like overly considerate of somebody, and like doing everything they want to do and not doing things for myself and all that, to going to doing every single thing I want to do.
Right.
Being single to possibly going back to being how do I find that balance?
Right.
Because like I'm feeling very free right now, and not to say that, but I honestly should still feel free in a relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I guess maybe looking at myself, you know what I mean? Like really just looking at me and just like,
well, you gotta know.
Yeah.
I feel like you gotta know. You have to know who you are.
Yeah.
And what you bring to the table in a relationship. Before you even get into the relationship, you got to know you.
Right.
Because if you don't know you, then this other person can lead you to do other things that you might not necessarily be comfortable with, or just don't want to do. Like sometimes, I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know, sometimes I have to do stuff that I don't necessarily want to do. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's because I'm being a support to her. So it makes sense to me to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm being supportive. Like I don't necessarily want to go to this baby shower. I don't go to a lot of them. Right. I don't necessarily want to go to this.
But you know which ones are important.
Right.
Okay, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like really understanding that balance and knowing like sometimes I just do stuff, like I said before, I'm thinking of her in advance. You know what I'm saying? So I might not feel like doing something, but because I'm thinking about her, it's like, all right, let me go ahead on and do that. But that I built up to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't something that I was just doing off top. Like I felt so when I was dating, I equated sex to love, right?
Yeah.
So there were certain things that I would do sexually with somebody that I really cared about that I wouldn't do with somebody that I really didn't care that much about. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I equated things. Like I care about you, so I'm gonna go all out. Whereas you, we cool. I mean, this might be a one night thing, so I'm gonna get you, go get you. I'm gonna get me, and then I'm gonna get out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now, since I really understand what love really is, I learned how to flip that, and it's like, all right, I really care about you, so let me do this for you with no expectation, of anything in return.
Right.
I just love you, so I want to do this for you.
And that's real. That's real. Mm-hmm. Like that's like that. That's real, man. And I guess that's what I was trying to understand. Like, which ones are like the I just want to do this just to do this, and which ones are like the obligation guilt ones.
Right. And there should never be obligation guilt.
Right.
Unless you put yourself in that predicament.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ended up doing something where you now feel guilty,
right,
then that's on you.
Right.
Or on me. But she shouldn't make me feel guilty about something in particular,
right?
Because she knows who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it did take us a while to get there. Like we had to really learn each other and learn how. I had an expectation of what a wife should be. She had an expectation of what a husband should be. And I think that at a certain point we kind of met in the middle, and we was like, all right, so you go do some of that,
yeah,
and I'm gonna do some of that, and then we just go be happy with everything else. Because overall, I want to be with you. So my expectation of what marriage should be shouldn't even matter, because I want to be with you and all of you, and accept you for who you are. So I have to accept that. Like I might like something that I might like for you to do something that you're not really that good at doing, but if you try,
right,
that means a lot.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Be considered a partnership?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a partnership. Marriage is 100% a partnership, and it's a 50-50 partnership.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Relationships, not even just marriage. You know what I'm saying? It's a serious, like, monogamous relationship. It's a 50-50 partnership. Like, sometimes I'm going to be down and I need you, and I'm going to be at 30 and I need you to be at 70. And sometimes it's going to be vice versa. Like,
right.
we gotta pull each other up. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? And that's just, it's really important, but you gotta learn. Communication is so big. Like, you gotta learn how to talk to the person the way that they need to be talked to, instead of the way that you would just respond, or the way that you would prefer to be talked to.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I need some. So when me and my wife got together, I had a temper. I had a really bad temper.
Mm-hmm.
And I was used to, if I got into an argument, like, I had a temper, but I was still very logical in my temperament. So I could still be like, all right, I'm gonna get you. Like, I'm gonna win this argument.
Right.
With her, she wasn't like that at all.
Right.
And so it taught me to be like, all right, well, I can just have a conversation. We can just figure it out without all of this anger.
Right.
We can just talk about it and then we can move on. You know what I'm saying? And that was cool for me. I was gonna make another point, but I can't remember what it was. But go ahead. I think you wanted to say something.
I guess because I'm thinking, because I don't want to word it weird, but at the same
No,
time,
just
I'm
say
gonna
it.
ask it how I want to ask it. But
Say it. Yeah, I don't care.
being as considerate as you are, and not just saying you, but just us in general as people,
Right.
don't we deserve somebody that is equally as compassionate?
Yeah. If
Like, could it work if that person is not that compassionate to you?
it depends on who you are to that person.
Right.
Like, if they're willing to, because it all starts from upbringing and
Right.
just who you are as a person. Like, I am a very passionate, emotional, driven guy. Like, that's just how I work. You know what I'm saying? My wife wasn't as much of that when we first got together.
Yeah.
And that's something that she's built on, that she's got better at, you know what I'm saying, expressing her emotions and different stuff like that. But it was a growing process, you know what I'm saying? And there was things that I had to work on to grow in as well. And so I've learned a lot about being a Christian because of being married.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a respect thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I equate my relationship with God to respect.
Right.
I equate my relationship with my wife to respect. I respect you enough to try some of the things that you would have me do, and I respect you enough to give you the space to try some of the things that I want you to do as well. And if I need to bring it up again and we need to have the conversation again, I can acknowledge that I've seen you try, but we need to talk about it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think anything's wrong with healthy communication, but
Right.
you know, it just all depends on who you're in a relationship with. Like, it sounds a lot simpler than it is.
Right.
But it's really just about communicating, because you'll know if you're supposed to be in a relationship with that person or not based on your communication with the person.
Another question, kind of a different direction.
Okay.
But how did you know your wife was the one? Like, out of every other woman you met, how did you know, like, she was special?
So it was a couple things. We butted heads when we first got together. She wouldn't necessarily just give me my way, and I wasn't necessarily used to that. I liked that, was attractive to me. I met her family. Her family was really dope. She held me down when I didn't have nothing. And then I chose.
Okay.
So it was ultimately it was up to me, because
Right.
I've dated, or I've been around, if we didn't date long term, spectacular women.
Yeah.
Like, awesome women. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I wasn't in a place in my life where I was ready to choose. And so I either played them, or I just kept it pushing, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I look back on like, dang, that was a good woman. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of messed over her. But I was ready to choose.
Yeah.
And I chose. You know what I'm saying? And I made sure that I chose the right way. It wasn't like, I choose you, but I'm gonna do me, you know.
Right.
It was like, nah, I choose you, and this is what it's gonna be. And that's not always easy. We talked about that before. But, ultimately I chose. And I think that's what it boils down to. I tell, I've talked to different women about, and it's like, it's the man's decision. Like,
Yeah.
you can do everything that you want in the world. Ultimately, it's his choice. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same for you. Like, it's your choice. I'm gonna choose you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I'm worth.
Right.
And you can decide to choose me or not. That's up to you. I'm gonna choose you. So if I choose you, I'm gonna get you. Like, it ain't. It ain't no, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just what it's gonna be. Because I chose. So I'm gonna I'm gonna court you. I'm gonna go after you. I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do too much, because then you can definitely go overdo that. But that's pretty much what it boils down to with my wife.
Do you feel like you were chosen before you even got chose? But I mean, before you chose her, like, do you feel like she had already chose you? So like,
I felt like God chose her for me.
Okay.
So when I first moved back to California from New Orleans, I prayed and I said, it's a funny prayer, but I asked God, I said, God, give me a woman that tells me no and means it.
Wow.
I prayed for it, and that's who she was.
Wow.
And I respected it so much, and I was like, all right, I see you, God. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we didn't get along. We didn't get along at all. And when we first started dating, I was dating, a couple of different women, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
so what made you stick with it? Like, not with it, with her.
Yeah.
What made you stick with it? What made you stick with her?
Just who she was.
Yeah.
Like, I just knew she was strong. I always knew that I was gonna marry a black woman.
Okay.
I knew that about myself. Like, I love women in general. I love all women. I love everything about women. But I love black women. And she was just so strong. And I met her family, and they were so strong. And I could be myself with her family. Like, I didn't have to tiptoe and be some other cat that was all uncomfortable and didn't know what to. It was cool. Like, I remember the first time I went to a wedding. The first time I met her family, I went to her brother's wedding. And rest in peace, Malakita. I saw her brother in the bathroom, and he was like, "Man, they got some beautiful girls, some beautiful women here." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Hey." And I was like, "Bro, I got eyes." You know what I'm saying? Like, I got eyes, man. And we're just talking. We're two men. We're just talking. Like, and that's kind of how our relationship has been with her as a family. Like, they feel like family to me. And so that drew me to her so much that it was like, oh, I gotta, like, even I have respect for her, but I respect her family so much that it's like, I really can't do nothing, because, like, I'll be betraying the family. You feel me? Like, I feel connected to every part of her.
Right.
And so as
that's real.
As much as I might desire something else, to definitely do at times, it's not worth it.
Right.
To me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you can get to that point where it's just like, it's just not worth it. Like, this, whatever amount of time of pleasure that I'm about to have with this individual, if it's one day, if it's 1 week, if it's 3, it's not worth losing this.
So like Kanye said, one good girl is worth 1,000 bitches.
Yeah. Straight up.
I believe you.
So, yeah, man. Like, it's not always easy being married. We definitely don't always get along. We definitely fight sometimes. It's not even really a fight. It's more of a conversation. But we definitely don't always see eye to eye.
Yeah.
I'll say it that way. But we've grown a lot with each other. She sat with me through my depression and everything. And, I've sat through things. And so it's just about building. I feel like once you can find somebody that you're willing to build with, you just got to do it. Like, it's just like doing anything else. If you decide, like, I'm working on this project, I decided I'm gonna release this project by next month. You know what I'm saying? By the middle of the next month. Yeah. Once you decide, then that's it.
Yeah.
This is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. And now, the only flip side of that is this is a personal project that I'm working on. Both people have to decide in a relationship. I'm gonna decide, but I'm not gonna wait for you to make up your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know my worth. I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. So if you need a little time, that's cool. But we both go take that time.
Right. Absolutely.
And if I find somebody else then that's your loss.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, if everybody kind of operated like that, things would be cool. Like, it's cool. Being a relate, like, we have a good time together. We have fun together. We laugh and joke, and we both got good personalities, and so that definitely helps.
Yeah.
But as far as getting out of a relationship and getting into a new one, and that whole transition, like, that's far off for me.
Yeah,
I've done
right,
it, but
right.
it's, you know, it's been a minute since I've done that. But it's just about being open, man.
Yeah.
It's just about being open, like being open to the possibility of whatever this is, and being open to the possibility of it not being anything at all.
Right.
And letting it be what it is, and not forcing nothing.
Right. Absolutely.
So
You're a wise brother, man. You're a wise brother.
hey, man, it's just living.
Yeah.
Living and trusting and learning.
Absolutely.
I got a lot more to learn, but I'm very I pay attention to a lot of stuff too. So, but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Anything else you got for your boy? Since this was the alpha marital interview.
This was Alpha giving game.
Right.
Alpha gave so much game to so many people, not just me. We all got game from this one. Nah, man, just let people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram under Alpha Presents. On Instagram as Alpha_Presents. On Facebook, you can find me under Alpha. The website is coming soon. I'm keep saying it till it happen. And Daydreams, the album is coming out next month, and a video will be coming out pretty soon for that, for one of the for the lead single.
That's what's up. You guys can find me at Just Mike Brown on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud. My website is primomiguel.com. You can find the podcast at soundcloud.com/The Art of Letting Go podcast, and also on iTunes. We're working on getting on Tidal. Somebody help us out with that. And if you guys want to let us know anything, how you feel about the podcast, anything you want us to talk about, hit us up.
Yeah, please let us know. If you want to come on the podcast, again, let us know. We welcome everybody to 6 and Magnolia. We're at the studio right now. And Wakanda Forever. I think they got that. You said it earlier, but I think they got that X in Wakanda from Xavier.
Yeah.
XU. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing that, though. We've been holding that down. So, but yeah, man, this is Alpha.
This is Mike Brown.
And this is The Art of Letting Go.
Letting go. Letting go.
Hey, that boy came with your vocals, dude. With your vocals. All right, man, we out. Let us hit us up, man. Much love and respect.
Peace.